Shalom, giving all praise to Yahweh, Bashem, Shai, Bashem, Rakakodah, Shalom to the 144,000, and the rest of the elected there, Shalom to you all. And I'm going to entitle this video, You Israelite groups out there that teach against the mark of the beast, you're going to look like jackasses. And that's my word, real talk. When they make that announcement, whoever makes that announcement, whether it be Donald J. Trump or J.D. Vance, they're going to make that announcement here in America where you're going to have to get that microchip. And they're not going to tell you, oh, this is the fulfillment of Revelation 13 and 16, because they know that what they're about to do is fulfilling the prophecy of Revelation 13 and 16. And please forgive me for beating a dead horse. Constantly doing these videos, but it must be super close. It's got to be months away, maybe 3 months away, maybe 6 months away. Maybe they'll talk about it in the end, the last few months of 2026, and then 2027 they'll make it mandatory. We don't know. That they do have an agenda, and they do have a date, a roundabout date, when they're going to let the whole world know that they got to take it, or they can't, interact in society. It's called being on the grid. So anyway, what I did was, this is the Google, I put in the mark of the beast trending, and then I also put in, let me bring this over here like this. Put it right next to each other. This is the chat, and I put in how many people on this earth believe the mark of the beast in Revelation 13:16 is a microchip in the right hand. Now, let me go ahead and read this. Then I'll go to the Google. There's no global count or the definitive survey telling us exactly how many people on earth believe the mark of the beast. And Revelation 13, 16, 17 refers specifically to a microchip implant in the right hand, such a belief isn't measured the way political or consumer habits are. However, we do have some relevant data points and context that help gauge how widespread related beliefs are. This is what I want. What polls and research suggest? Remember, I asked I said, how many people on this earth, not in this country, in general, conspiracy belief surveys in the U.S. show a minority of adults accept broad conspiracy ideas. Yeah, because they're slow when it comes to conspiracies. The Europeans are different, not like these Arab nations. For example, in 2021 poll, a notable share of Americans believed in certain conspiracies themes, like some QAnon. Now, QAnon is a bunch of these MAGA people that believe in some prophetic thing that's going to come to pass. And Trump is kind of like the savior of that, which that's not even, and it's, mixed with the scriptures. And they do believe the mark of the beast. Like I said this before, and I'm continue to say it. The first people that's going to protest the mark of the beast when they make the chip mandatory are these Bible Belt people. Related ideas, but this is not a direct measure of microchip mark belief. In a separate 2016 survey about implantable chips, not specifically tied to Revelation, about 21% of U.S. adults, that would be as 350 million, the population is 350 million people. Let's say 150 of them are adults. because they said it's among adults. So 21% of them would be, if it's 150 adults in the population, 10% would be 15 million, 20% would be 30 million. So according to this, when you play the numbers don't lie. And a separate 2016 survey about implantable chips, not specifically tied to Revelation, just in general, about 21%, so we're talking 30 million plus, of U.S. adults morally disapprove of implanted computer chips because they saw it as a changing God's plan, or likely liken it to the mark of the beast. And these are mostly Edomites. I guarantee you they're mostly Edomites that believe. Now, Arabs don't know what's going on. Jake, they don't know what the fuck is going on. These 30 million people, most of them are Edomites, Bible Belt, down south, Midwest. But that reflects general moral discomfort, not actually belief that Revelation's mark is a microchip. Small academic surveys, i.e., example given rather, IG, one study of 52 respondents found roughly 13% thought the C ragamuffin Maxine would usher in the era of the mark of the beast, which in a way it did. It was a testing ground for that. Because I see them kind of pushing it pretty much the same way they push this. It's gonna, if you don't get it, you can die. And there's too much fraud going on, and they're gonna come up with something. They're gonna have a major they're gonna orchestrate a major Black Swan event. Look that word up. Thought Maxines contain a tracking device, which they were wrong on. But these are very localized and small samples. Let me do this. Then I'm gonna go to Google. And the ball is in these other Israelite camps' court now, because we made it crystal clear that Revelation 13 and 16 is definitely the microchip. The mark of the beast is definitely the microchip. Not maybe, we almost positive, we 99%, no, we're 100%, we're 1,000,000,000% sure. We're going to be right, and it's going to change the whole makeup of this whole Hebrew Israelite thing. Everybody's going to be talking about it. Everybody's going to be questioning it. These guys in these other major camps, not the leaders so much, but the congregation, they're going to question it. They're going to question it, man. Especially if you've been watching GMS videos, and you're going to question your leaders. And depending on what your leaders say, we'll know whether, like I said, they probably sold out. Because there ain't no way you can't see it. Edomites can see it, man. It's a broader context and interpretation. Within Christian theology, there is wide diversity in how Revelation 13 is understood. Many denominations, Roman Catholic, Eastern Orthodox, mainline Protestants, interpret the mark symbolically rather than literally. Because Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua is not dealing with the Roman Catholics. Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua is not dealing with the Eastern Orthodox. Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua is not dealing with Christianity as a whole. Your mainline Christianity, Baptist, Methodist, Seventh-day Adventist, Jehovah's Witness. Jehovah's Witness doesn't believe it. Why? Because Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua is not dealing with them, plain and simple. What about these other camps? Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua is not dealing with them. Unless they know and they set up to deceive their masses. It says in second, I mentioned this yesterday, Second Thessalonians 2. You read that whole chapter, around about the 7 some odd verse, 8 verse, and they shall receive strong delusion that they may believe a lie. So you got GMS and affiliates also, because they still, they're still out there. They teach what we teach. They're going to look at us and they're going to say, well, these guys don't know what the fuck they talking about. Why don't y'all get with the program? IUIC got it. IUCBK got it. Wi-Fi got it. Why can't y'all get it? No, the thing is that y'all don't have it. And it's going to show in that day. That's going to be a turning. The spotlight is going to be on you. The spotlight is going to be on you, Bishop Nathaniel, you, General Yohana, you, Captain Desariak, and anybody else that taught contrary. And then if you tell your congregation, and I've been saying this, I'm going to continue to say this, if you tell your congregation to take it, don't listen to GMS, they're a bunch of bums, they don't know what they're talking about, the Most High is not dealing with them, and you go ahead and take it, well, you're going to be destroyed. You're going to be destroyed here in America. You're going to suffer a cancer at first. So they were not equated with a with a microchip. So your standard Christianity, your Roman Catholic, your Eastern Orthodox, your Protestants, all these churches broke from the Roman Catholic Church. That's Jehovah's Witnesses, Protestants, Episcopalians, Anglican Church, which is broke off. The Church of England, the Anglican Church, broke off from the Roman Catholic. That's why you have the same Caesar Borgia. That's why they believe all these break-offs from the Roman Catholic Church, these Protestants, they all believe that Mary and Joseph never had sex and that was a virgin birth. So they're nothing but Reformed Catholics, as I have said in the past. Some groups that focus on literal end-time prophecy do entertain. Some groups that focus on literal end-time prophecy, because there's certain Christian groups that believe the mark of the beast is the actual chip, do entertain the idea of a microchip as a future mark, but even among those believers, it's one of many interpretations and not universally held, because the Spirit is not dealing with anyone in Christianity. Christianity is a joke. What this means, because there's no global or even national survey specifically asking, do you believe the mark of the beast is a microchip in the right hand? There's no precise number to give. What we do know is this belief is a minority view, very minority, if I can use that term, even among Christians, because I'm going to say it again, the Holy Spirit, the Comforter, is not dealing with these Christians at all. The Most High is not dealing with these Christians at all. Period. The Most High is dealing with the men of GMS. And what's the example? This right here. The fact that we teach that the mark of the beast. What separates us from these other camps? The fact that we teach that the mark of the beast is an actual microchip that's going to be put physically in your hand, and it's a physical thing. And I'm going to say this again. The reason why they don't see it is because maybe they got paid off to act like they don't see it. Either way, you're done. Either way, you're done. Let's say you just can't see it. Well, you just can't see it because the Spirit, you don't have the Holy Spirit. You don't have the oil. I'll say it that way for Nate, my boy Nate. You said you had a dream that the oil was taken away from you, and at the end of the dream, the oil was put back in. Well, guess what? You don't got the oil in. You're an empty lamp. That's why they want to speak to you that day. When you ran in the car, and you said, let me call Tahar and talk to Tahar. I spoke to you for about maybe 15 seconds. I said, look, give me the phone. I didn't want to fucking talk to you. I didn't want to fucking. I heard your voice, and I almost puked. I threw up. I don't want to hear your fucking voice. And I said, man, do me a favor, give the phone back to Ricard. Now, me and Ricard was talking about that yesterday. He had called out the blue. He can speak on it. And so what we do know is this belief is a minority view even among Christians who take Revelation literally. Conspiracy belief patterns like linking vaccines or microchips with apocalyptic prophecy make the idea more visible online and in some communities, but they are not mainstream globally. And the people around the world on the international level, they're going to take it. Do you think that the East Indians are going to buck up against it? They don't read the Bible. And the ones that call themselves Christians, they don't know these prophecies. Christians never go into prophecy. They never deal with prophecy. Islamic world, they're going to take it because they have the Quran. There's nothing in the Quran that speaks about a mark of the beast. So they're going to take it. Buddhists, the Moabites, Ammonites. The majority of the planet Earth, I would say 95 to 98% of the people on the planet Earth are going to take it. And this is the next big major prophecy. Before, and like I said, please forgive me for sounding like a broken record, but the Spirit is on us. We constantly putting these videos up. Research shows that concerns about microchips as technology are partly influenced by either objections and conspiracy thinking, not literal Bible interpretation in the majority of the population. In short, tens of millions might have heard or entertained the interpretation in various parts of the world because of online and church messaging. But the actual share of the global population convinced it's literally true is a small fraction, and we're part of that small fraction. And no authoritative global statistic exists. So let me go to the microchip, the mark of the beast. The mark of the beast is trending. So here we go. Here we go. And if you have any Christian churches that teach the mark of the beast as a chip, they'll be Edomite churches. There won't be Baptists or Methodists. Black churches. Pentecostal churches, you know, Ephraimites and Latin tribes acting a damn fool in church. It says the mark of the beast, originating from the book of Revelation 13, is trending due to renewed widespread speculation linking it to current technology and societal changes such as microchips, digital currency, and AI-driven control systems. While some interpret this literally as a physical, high-tech mark or tattoo, otherwise view it symbolically as a test of allegiance between the Most High and a counterfeit, oppressive kingdom. Because Bishop Nate says, oh, there's going to come a time where the white man's going to tell you to not keep the laws, and you got to keep keeping the laws. So, but you can still shop. They're going to ask you whether you broke a law today. Come on, then you sold out. You fucking sold out, bro. That's the conclusion I come to. You and General Yohana sold out, and I know General Yohana sold the fuck out. I know he sold out because he don't want to wait for the king. He don't want to have patience. Read about Moses in Hebrews chapter 11. He gave up comfort to stay with his people. Common trends and interpretations, technological fears, Discussions frequently centered on implanted microchips, QR codes, quick response codes, that's what the QR stands for, and the potential for a centralized digital ID or currency system from often referred to as a central bank digital currency. And we were the first ones to go into the CBDCs, central bank digital currencies. That's to do away with all paper dollars and have a central system based upon electronic money. You cannot buy or sell. That controls buying and selling. That controls buying and selling. So CBDC is going to come before the chipping, because you'll be able to get an app on your smartphone, which connects you to the CBDC system, and you can use it. By the way, is that nope? The CBD system, when everything's the currency is all digital, you can use it. You can use it. It's no different than using a credit card. You got a bank card. All of you have to have a bank account. So you get a card. You automatically get a card. You get a combination credit. You can use it as a credit card, or you can use it as a what do you call it? A debit card. So when you go to like a BJ's, right? You can put in credit, or you can put in debit. It says historical and previous speculation over time, this concept has been tied to barcodes, social security numbers, credit cards, and the C ragamuffin. Symbolic interpretations or symbolic interpretation. Many theologians argue the mark is not a physical device. Let me read that again. Many theologians argue the mark is not a physical device. Why? Because the Spirit is not dealing with them. So it makes no sense even talking to them, having a conversation with them. But represent a counterfeit system that changes obedience to the Most High, with the forehead representing thoughts, allegiance, and the hand representing action, work. Now that's the way Ariel used to break it down. He broke it down clearly wrong. The mark of the beast is, if you take it in your hand, that means you're ready to fight for this man. If you take it in the brain, that means you're ready to do his bidding. And I pulled him to the side. And I said, could it mean, and this is back in the early 80s, I pulled him to the side. I said, Ariel, could the MOT, the mark of the beast, be talking about an actual physical device that can go on your right hand, the forehead? And he said, yes, but the Most High is not going to have. How do you say it? But the white man's not going to have time to do it. So I said that didn't sit well with me, because I said, wait a minute. So that's some prophecy of the Most High. That's not the white man's prophecy. And it never sat well with me, because I always, before I came into the truth, I knew about the mark of the beast, and I knew it was not a chip, but something physical that's going to be put in your hand. Contextual belief, theology versus technology. Some scholars emphasize that the focus should be on the spiritual nature of the beast, a political or religious power requiring worship, rather than the technological method of tracking. It's going to be the technological method of tracking. This is what you call the internet, the IOE, the Internet of Everything, meaning they're going to chip you. And I went through that. You know what I'm doing? Let me prove it to you. Give me a second. Give me a second. What the hell is this? I didn't want this. I did not want this. I don't know what the hell happened. I went through it earlier. Bear me for a minute, y'all. I don't want this. Bear me for a minute, y'all. Let me do it this way. Let me see how I'm going to phrase the question. Does the Internet of Everything include microchipping in the hand? This is what I put in. I don't own Google. I don't control Google. I can't change Google. Does the Internet of Everything, which is now you have the Internet of Things. That's the term, Internet of Things, IoT, where you can use your smartphone to go to the TV. Like I have Roku. In order for me to register the Roku, I had to give my smartphone number, and they had to send me a code. Then I had to go to the computer. So I can be on the computer, watch a YouTube video. I can say I'm getting ready to go to sleep. I'm watching a YouTube video. I can cast the video from Google to the do you want the TV in the den, or do you want the TV in the living room, or do you want the TV? I mean the video in the Roku. So I have more than three choices primarily. So I said, no, I'm getting ready to go to sleep. I'm gonna lay down, but I want to watch the rest of this video. So all I do is cast it into the room. So that's the Internet of Things. The Internet, the IOE is the Internet of Everything, where part of that is when they chip you, when you become part of the Internet. It says, does the Internet of Everything, the IOE, include microchipping in the hand? And the answer is yes. Microchip implants in the human hand, often referred to the context of chipping or biohacking, such as by individuals named Mickey or Patrick, and I don't know what to give me this, fall under the broad scope of the IOE, or the Internet of Everything. That's from the BBC. And look at that. They're giving you pictures. They're giving you pictures. Look at that. The Internet of Everything, as defined by Cisco or Cisco Systems, is the intelligent network connection of four key pillars: people, process, data, and things. How does the people come in? Under the fact that they're going to get the chip in them. Things. IoT. The microchip itself is a thing, a physical object with embedded sensors, RFID, NFC, that connects to and exchanges data with other devices. And you're going to be a part of that device because you're going to have a chip on that which would enable you to be a device. So you'll be no different than a smartphone or a tablet. People, when implanted in the hand, these chips make humans a node in the network. They allow for interactions with machines for authentication, payments, buy or sell, and accessing secure areas, e.g., example given, unlocking doors, starting cars, buying things, data in process. The chip transmits data to readers. That's why you're going to get a cancer. Revelation 16:2. Spirit got us keep going. We done. This is called overkill. We done put so many videos out on this subject, and the Spirit got us keep going to this subject. So it must be right at the door. It's kicking in the door, and it's stepping in. It put one foot in. It's ready to step all the way in, which can be processed to automate tasks like logging into computers or tracking health. That's why ultimately they asked for your telephone. Years ago, you didn't have to put your smartphone number. Now you got to put your smartphone number. Now they're asking you for your home address for security reasons, and they're giving you a choice. There's going to be a point where you got to give your home address or you're not going to have access to the web. Right? And then the next step is going to be in you. And if you want to participate in the system, you're going to have to get a chip. You're going to have to get a chip. It says like logging into computers or tracking health, turning the human device interaction into a streamlined, connected process. What makes it a complete, streamlined, connected process? The fact that you got the chip. Here's some more information. While these chips are often called Internet of Things, they're really not devices. They fit into the Internet of Everything, specifically because they bring the people and process components into the network, enabling a more holistic, connected ecosystem. That's where your 15-minute cities come in. And like I'm going to say this again. These major camps that's teaching against what we're teaching, they sold out. They sold out. My opinion, and I can't prove it, General Yohana sold out. Bishop Nathaniel sold out. They both know that the mark of the beast is the microchip. They both know it. But I believe Captain Tazariak, well, I don't know if he sold out or he's just following under General Yohana because he thinks General Yohana is God Almighty on the earth. And we're just telling the truth. You can get mad at us. We're just telling you the truth. And we are going to be right. We are going to be correct. We're going to be the ones that everybody's going to look to. And I hope among, if there's elect among these people that follow these guys, if y'all among the elect, y'all going to leave. Y'all going to get up and leave. But then again, you might not leave because you should have left a long time ago. You should have grew a backbone and left it a long time ago. Be more like the Church of Berea. So anyway, you have it. This is coming from them. They're saying it now. They're using the term, the acronym IOE. As right now, we're in a mode of IoT. Israel, Internet of Things, to Internet of Everything, where you become a part of the whole ecosystem. I don't got to go any deeper. Anyway, shalom, on to the next. Y'all better get with the program. Them guys, if the blind lead the blind, you know what's going to happen. Shalom.